there everyone, and welcome back to my next episode on Vasten Dimensions. This is Mar here, and I did a derp. Look what I'm sitting in! Oops, close up with the lantern. You can actually put water in the nether, if you put it inside a cauldron. So, that's a thing. And, I believe, that means that we can also do this. See? All you have to do is bring in a bucket of water, put it in there, and you have it right on hand. Now, granted, it's not an infinite water source, but limited use, but I still think that is pretty cool. I had no idea that you could put a bucket of water inside of a cauldron. That is new to me, I guess. I'm showing my Minecraft newbiness. Anyway, that little derp aside, I have done a bit of work. So we left off with this room right here, and that was pretty much it. Well, now we have the 3 wings all complete. We've got this one here for the nether wart. Look at this nice sea of red stuff. I used pretty much the same design on all 3 sections. So all 3 of them. We got the melons over there, we'll take a look at them. We've got the mycelium over there, we'll take a look at that as well. And then, of course, we've got the nether wart here. You just come up a little bit, we've got this lava flowing down. We've got some lava flowing on the sides as well. You come up a few stairs, you got the same sort of ceiling design we have in the brewing area. We've got an ender chest. In every single corridor, there's an ender chest, there's a crafting table, and then there's a chest that relates to the item in this hallway. So here we've got some nether wart. Because this stuff will pile up fast if you're harvesting it consistently. I mean, I've been here so much, I could have been harvesting this the entire time. I just wasn't. But anyway, that's you know, good to have a chest nearby. The design is pretty standard all the way around. We just have these little bitty cubbies and whatnot with magma lighting. The ceiling is kind of like a check. Not really a checkerboard because it all looks the same as opposed to alternating colors, but we've got some nether wart blocks because this is the nether wart farm, with some more additional lighting up there, and it follows, and we've got the sign here, nether wart farm, and it follows pretty much the same concept in each hallway. So if we come over here, we've got mycelium farm, and this one I actually put instructions, just in case it's not intuitive enough. Surround 1 mycelium block with dirt. Wait. It's pretty basic. But yeah, you need that 1 bit of mycelium for everything to spread. I mean, it was new to me. I didn't even know mycelium could spread in the nether, so the concept was pretty new to me. So we've got this in here, and if you remember correctly, originally we had, like, behind the nether rack, or nether brick here, we had some holes in the nether rack so that we could climb out, and go down to where we collect our lava. So I just added a little, ladder right here that goes down to there. And then on the other side, of course, we've got the melons, which do grow in the nether. I use bone meal to speed up the growth of the plants, though it will grow on its own if you give it enough time. And it will produce melons as well. This was the best. I really like things being symmetrical, so this is the best that I could come up with for it being symmetrical. I tried a couple different variations, which is why you've still got some dirt over there, and honestly, it's probably never going to turn to grass because it's cut off now, but no, well, who cares? It's fine. It's not a big deal. Eventually, ideally, it'll be all covered with melons anyway, so it won't matter. And it's quite well lit in here as well, so that's a good thing. And then of course we can put our loot in here. I was using a fortune pickaxe to get it because I don't know if it works on melon, but it seemed to be working okay to use fortune when you're getting your melons. I don't know, might just be my imagination. So yeah, that's that, which means this entire project in here is complete, and we can head back out here and resume another project, which I actually have one in mind for this episode. And this episode might be a little bit weird, for one main reason. Whoop, hello lag. That was bizarre. So this episode, now that we've got that done, I want to build the bridge. It's been kind of something that hasn't happened for basically the entire time that we've been working out here. We've just had this nether rack going on, and I want to give it a proper bridge. And I did come up with a design in my creative testing world. I don't really feel confident enough to do it on screen because it's kind of a weird, it's a little outside of my comfort zone as far as this build is concerned so far. So I'd probably just want to do most of it off screen and just bring you back for jump cuts. And that kind of works well for another reason, which is what I'm kind of going to talk about next. I have been accepted or invited into the Realm of Vasten, the main server, and I'm ridiculously excited about that. The only problem is I currently don't have the ability to upload more than 2 episodes a week. My computer isn't all that fast at rendering. It usually takes 1.5 hours to 2 hours to render every single one of these episodes, and then it takes like 6 or 7 hours to upload it to YouTube, which is basically an overnight process. And I wake up at the crack of dawn before the sun's even up on the weekdays. I don't have the energy at that early hour to be dealing with my computer. So really I can only do this uploading on the weekends. Which means only 2 episodes pretty much for now, just for the time being. You know, maybe later when I get better internet, better computer, it'll be different, but for now just 2 episodes. And that means, like, well, I've got the Wells Night Patreon server, I've got Vasten Dimensions, and now I've got the Realm of Vasten, so something's gotta give, right? So I'm thinking most of the area in here is pretty well complete as far as the nether project is concerned in the slum area, which was kind of like my baby project as far as the overall nether was going. Some of the other members kind of took over beyond the gate, and this was kind of my area, and Dee Dee helped me out a lot. But a lot of it's already getting done, and we've got plans going about what we're going to do elsewhere. So I think I'm going to kind of go half and half with my Vasten episodes. Half of it will be dedicated to Dimensions until we finish this project, and then the other half will be dedicated to the main server, Realm of Vasten. So that's the news, that's the plan. We'll see how it goes, and I'm really excited about it. I actually have very little idea of what I'm in for, because I've never been on the server before. I know we're working on an icy themed build, but I'll have to go over there and familiarize myself and do the early game grind all over again. So that's probably going to be what you're going to see in a little bit, but until then, we've got a bridge to take care of. So let's say we get at that, and I'll bring you back in a bit. And welcome back, everybody. It's actually the next day for me, and I don't know whether you'll be able to tell this or not, but I apparently have come down with some sort of cold. Woke up feeling fine, went to work, started having like a bit of a tickle in my nose. I wanted to sneeze like all day long. So I'm going to try and reserve all my sneezing and sniffling for between the jump cuts. But I did manage to get quite a bit of work done. I have actually more or less finished the bridge. The sides, like from the outside, like if I stood over there by the gate and looked over here, the sides of the bridge are pretty much smooth, flat, boring. They'll need a little bit of detailing and everything, but like that. But the walking portion itself and the quote-unquote railings, those are done. So what do you say we take a look? This is the design that I came up with. I was trying to go for a sort of like, well, I really wish we had like bone blocks are only the blocks. I wish we could have like stairs and slabs and stuff like that. Because I was kind of trying to go for a sort of bone shape to it, as if like the skeletal remains of some horrible animal was like creating the bridge here. But you can't really do that in Minecraft because there aren't really any blocks that really lend themselves to making. I mean, you just have the bones, and you have quartz, and quartz doesn't look anything like bone, and unless of course you use like a texture pack to change it. But unfortunately, we don't have that for bones anyway. So I ended up going with, you know, our traditional nether brick instead. So the path is pretty much the same type of thing going on over there, all the way up. We have this custom recipe, I guess, that lets us have coarse dirt slabs. And that's what some of these are here, to try and give us a good adjustment in the height variation as you come up. Now the connecting portion up here, as well as down at the other end, do need a little bit of work because it's very netherracky right here and at the end. But we've got these arches, and they kind of alternate. So you have an arch here, and then you have an arch there, and then over here, and so on and so forth. And then opposite each arch, there's like this small little bit that juts out. To kind of like balance it off, I guess. Now maybe, you know, hypothetically, maybe it's because there used to be an arch here and it fell away. But I was actually kind of going for it to be more deliberate, which is why it's every other one, as if it was designed this way. So it could really go either way, deliberate or just decay over time. It lends itself okay, I guess, to both possibilities. And I did decide to use lanterns, as we have throughout the rest of the village, as opposed to fire, because there wasn't really any for fire. I mean, I suppose I could get out my flint and stone and, you know, slap it down in a couple spots, but it just didn't seem like there was any place to make it look good and provide natural lighting and everything. So I just went with the lanterns instead. I also thought about maybe trying to run lava through this, because this is too wide. You got a 3 wide walkway, 2 wide on either side, and then of course these bits here do kind of come out even further. So we could put lava in this first row and still have the second row to keep it from like spilling out into the lake. But I decided to go against that. I couldn't think of a good way to actually incorporate lava in here so that it would flow like that. And then I was kind of worried. That's a whole long stretch to have a lot of exposed lava. I didn't want people accidentally getting hurt or losing items. I mean, I like playing with lava, but let's not go overboard. So we've got this going on, and I think I'm pretty happy with it. Which means that we are now going to have to turn our attention to the Realm of Vasten, because like I said, I mean, for me it's been yesterday, for you it's a couple minutes ago. We're going to have to go half and half until we finish up the Nether Kingdom. And before we switch over to the Realm of Vasten, I want to quickly, like, I don't know, give an estimate on the timing of this, because our first layer here is pretty well complete. We got the connecting bits here and on the other side of the bridge. Got to take care of that. The slums over there still need, like, pretty much this entire section here. Still need to have the ground detailed out with this stuff. Some general decoration for the houses themselves. You know, like some growing plants and, you know, a little bit of fire and all that sort of stuff. And then we got a second layer and a third layer that also need all of that. The fourth, or the side over here, is the part that's really suffering right now, because all we've done is peel back the netherrack. So quite a bit of work yet to be going on there. And then other than that, we just have to, if I decide to, go with that idea I had where I build a couple pillars out here in the lava lake and then sort of fence the area in, as well as up there, and also do that hanging room idea that I had. I don't know if I'll actually go with it. It might be a little too hard to pull off, floating over a lava lake in survival. But yeah, that's generally what we have left for our nether project. Like I said, we do have the area beyond the gate, but the area inside the gate here is really where I was putting my focus. And Chef has already done a fantastic job out here with this part of the nether. I was actually out there digging and harvesting more nether brick, and I was coming into the areas back there, behind all the netherrack wall, collecting in the hallways and whatnot, and I was like, oh, this is where I am, and I didn't realize I'd gone this far, and, you know, that sort of stuff. And it's just really incredible to see how much work he's done here. I really like the way this is coming along. I really like the sweeping approach to it. That looks really fantastic. I think we talked about doing another one of the large gates over there in that entrance there, but I don't think there's really any point in doing that until we know whether or not, like, what we're going to put in this area, if anything. Because we've been going at this for quite a while, and some of us are getting a little nether overloaded at this point. There's just so much red. So I definitely want to finish the slum area, but I don't know whether I'll work on the rest of this or not. I'm really not that good at this sort of design that Chef has been going with. I can't pull this off. It looks fantastic. It's just not the way I usually build, so it's kind of fun. Like the roof slopes, I get that. That looks like a traditional Wells Night slope, but all the detailing is just incredible, and I don't think I would be able to keep up with that. But I mean, through all of this, I'm not going to be leaving the dimensions by any means. So don't think that. It's just that once we finish my main section of dimensions, which is the slum area here, I won't necessarily have a need to record over here all the time. I'm sure I'll still pop it over here and give you guys an update on what I've been working on. But once we finish the slums, we're going to definitely be turning our attention more towards the Realm of Vasten, the main server. So, with that said, let's say we head on over there. It's going to mean probably, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to go do a lot of vanilla grind, because I don't have anything over there. No armor, no tools, no weapons, nothing. And by the way, look at my poor pick. Look at that. That's what I did getting all that nether brick. It's ridiculous. And I just repaired it just like yesterday. Oh boy. Deja vu? But why am I not planter? What a weird place to spawn in. What? Alrighty guys, it's another 2 days since the last clip, and we're not going to talk about how sick I am right now, but I have the weirdest luck. So I've been doing some more vanilla grinding, as evidenced by my very nice gear that I have. Look at this. Three wither skeleton skulls. Let's look how many guys I've actually killed. 20. I've killed 20 wither skeletons, and I've gotten 3 skulls, and my sword has looting 2 on it. I have the weirdest luck. Alrighty guys, I think it's time we get down to business. Because I've been horribly sick recently, and we're already doubling this episode up, we may not have a particularly long session here, but I did at least want to show you around the new area that we will be working in. As you can see behind me, there is an icy boat with an icy path kind of like spreading out behind it. I don't know a lot of the lore really, so I don't know if the ice is like powering the ship. I did hear that ice does provide power to the druids that are over there. Basically it's a branch of the arbor druids that have gone off on their own. They've got their own ideals, which is kind of like right in line with what I've been working with, so it kind of works out perfectly in that regard. But we've got that awesome ship behind us. I don't know if we can zoom. Whoop, hi. That's a little close. But as you can see behind me, it's your traditional ship, but it's got ice like all over the ship and the sails. There's snow on the deck, all that fun stuff, and then the ice trail out behind it. All right, we're really close. All right, that's better. Let's go down, and this is the ship we're standing on now. The what is it, crow's nest we call it up here. This is the ship that takes us to Treville, which has kind of been our home our home of operations, or whatever, base of operations, in dimensions. So let's hop over here. This is the ship that will take us to the new location. I've been over here a couple times already, and I always forget there's not 2 pressure plates, one on either side of the door, but I've already been over here several times already and taken a poke around, but I haven't seen everything all that thoroughly yet. And this sign here currently is inaccurate. What we do is we make a ship in one location, then we basically copy and paste it back here to Port Bray, or vice versa. Maybe we started at Port Bray and then copy and paste it at the other location. And so this is the copy paste of the version that's at the place we're going, which is why that sign still says Port Bray. So if we come through here, and we get stuck in limbo for a moment, and then we land down, this one actually says to Port Bray because we're actually going to Port Bray if we click the button again. So we come on out here, and over here is our icy kingdom, basically. I'm just going to give it a moment to start rendering in. I love the architecture. There's a couple different styles. You know, there's a lot of stone in places. There's also a lot of, I believe that is concrete. I'm not 100% certain. I love the texture pack, how it kind of lets the stone kind of come through in certain places with the blended textures. So you'd like put down the stone in those places, put the concrete or whatever next to it, and then the edges where they line up kind of give this like worn effect. I think that's really cool. And then of course we've got up there, I think that's also concrete or, you know, like terracotta, that is colored, and it's got like this shingled texture, which I wish we had stairs for, because that'd be cool. So we can come over here and land at the dock, and let's take a poke around, because I honestly haven't seen a whole lot here yet. Does that do anything? Nope. Just for decoration. Probably to give it the effect of like, hey, if you push this lever, then, oh, this is kind of cool. Then it'll, well, that is really cool. Yeah, I like that. Then it'll lower the boat that was hanging there. So we could just take a little poke around. And here again is the connected texture. So we're looking at granite, and that's yellow terracotta, yeah. And then of course we've got this like large frontal deck area. I think this is supposed to represent, like from a distance, it kind of looks like fish. I don't know whether that's what it's actually supposed to be. It could be coals, a barrel of coals. I feel like that'd start a fire, but it looks good. And of course we've got note blocks that are, or is this note block? Yeah, note block that's textured to look like barrels, or I mean crates, not barrels. So you've got your crates and your chests and everything, and there's the front, the dock over there. We won't have time to look in nearly all of these buildings, but we'll just take a peek around. There's two specific locations I want to show. Actually, three. I take that back. There's three. And that maybe that's just because I haven't seen a whole lot of places yet, so I'm not familiar with all the points of interest to swing by. But I've been to three of them so far, and I definitely wanted to share all three of them. One of them is still a work in progress. It is whatever that is going to be, and I think it looks fantastic. It kind of spirals up and around and gets smaller and smaller. The little circular platforms get smaller and smaller the further they go up. I don't know if it's going to be some sort of fancy tree or a tower or what. It kind of reminds me a little bit, I feel like I've probably seen this like maybe in World of Warcraft or something like that, with mushroom trees kind of spiraling up the stem. But that's kind of what comes to mind. And there we got the noisy ground that my mic just absolutely loves. I heard a piston. That was weird. Over here we've got a Church of the End. A lot of the lore has people who kind of worship the End, and so there are churches in certain places. And what the Church of the End does is it provides an end portal for easy transportation to the End, basically. So we come over here. What it does is if you come in here, and you would kind of pray to the End or the Enderman or whatever, and if you pass, then you click this button, then this will retract and fall down there. Now there's lava, so ideally if you failed you'd die, but in theory, unless you lag out, there's no way to fail. And there's string down there that when triggered will teleport you to an actual end portal. Which we've seen in my other series. So let's pop over here and take a quick look. You killed him. How could you do that? I believe mob griefing is off, so it won't blow up blocks. I don't even know if it would hurt me. I don't even know if that would happen. And if we come over here, I'm trying to stay off the noisy ground. There's this like little igloo type thing. They had another name for it, I think. I don't really remember if they were like yanking my chain or if it's a real word. I think they called it a yurt. Is that an actual thing? Am I being had? Let's go inside before that guy gets here. Anyway, I think of it like a little igloo. There's little huts here. I guess a couple people have little beds and everything. I've been kind of borrowing them just as a safe place to AFK real quick. And we've got 3 little trapdoors here. One is just a ladder to get back up. This one takes you to the storage room, which is 1 step down. And then 1 giant step, I presume, takes you all the way down? Yeah, that looks like it takes you all the way down. Well, let's go to the storage room first. Very short drop. And we've got a lot of chests. Just, you know, as you would expect. Lots and lots of chests. Okay. So, the reason for why I have all of this sort of stuff, yeah, you can thank that right there. I guess, I mean, it's community resources except what's on your person, and what's in your ender chest pretty much. And of course, if you're like working actively in an area and you need bunches of chests full of your resource, I could probably fall on under the category of common courtesy to leave those for whoever's working with them. But as far as things that you own, it's what you're wearing, what's in your inventory, what's in your ender chest. So all of these are community resources that everyone can use, which is why there's so many diamonds, because you go strip mining, if you don't need those diamonds, chuck them in here, maybe somebody else does. That basic concept. So I was able to get kickstarted on my gear with that, and I also went end raiding. I did die because I was numbskull and forgot to bring extra food. I ended up realizing about 15 minutes in, I was like, oh, I only have 5 pieces of chicken left. Great, that's fantastic. And here I am, 6,000 blocks out. I did manage to get all the shulkers I wanted, though, and I have, as you can see, I've color coordinated them as I do. I just feel incomplete if I don't have my color coordinated shulker boxes. So let's take these out. They're kind of haphazard with what's where, and we'll take a look at the loot that I got. Grab that, and grab that. It made pretty good haul. Now I'm used to playing with the data pack that makes shulkers be a guaranteed drop for shulker shells, a guaranteed drop of 2. We do not have that on this server though, so I had to get everything kind of the hard way. Although I do have looting 2 on my sword, so that did help with the shulker drops. So we've got all of these stackable type things, got plenty of lanterns, which is, you know, aka the end rods. We did find 2, we only found 2 cities, but both of them were ginormous. So we got 2 dragon heads off the boats, got some diamonds, general, you know, blocks, got a few emeralds, got some gold and some iron, just general stuff. Over here is some of the armor and whatnot we've got. Some of these actually have really good, maybe not that one. Maybe I got a couple with curses, which, you know, never that great. But some of these were actually pretty decent in regards to their enchantments. And even some of the iron ones. Like, I'm not gonna say no to iron tools if they have good enchants. Because if you die or something, this is a perfectly fine pickaxe to help you get back where you need to be. Got some, you know, other generic iron things. That's not that, and that's not. Okay, here. We got 2 elytra. I had to use this one to get back to my stuff after I died. Ignore the water bucket, that's unrelated. No, you do not find water buckets in the end. More general armor and whatnot. Just, you know, your standard run-of-the-mill stuff. These are just the things that I had before I went there. I went out and chopped some birch trees. I made some fireworks, and I borrowed a couple from here when I was going back out to get my stuff. Got some coal. These are what's left over from when I was making my armor. Here I've got my fortune pick, because this is my silky pick. I've got a second set of boots with Frostwalker on them. I figure we were working here in the in this icy biome. It might make sense to have a set of shoes that have Frostwalker instead of Deathstrider. So I've got those there. I got a chest plate in case I ever want to take my elytra off, and then just, you know, random junk in here. I went to the nether. I killed a whole bunch of the ghasts. That's what I went out there for, and I coincidentally got the wither skeleton skulls, just as an added perk, I guess. And I did find this in one of these chests here, and that's my favorite music disc, so I just had to grab it so I can set it up somewhere. It's my absolute favorite one to listen to. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to put most of this stuff in these chests here. Some of the things that I was getting more for myself, I'll hang on to. And then yeah, I'll pretty much be all set to start building. I don't really know where we're at with the builds here. I don't know where my assistance would be needed. I don't want to start building someplace if somebody already has plans to be there, so I'm going to have to touch base with everybody else and see where we're at with that, or if I can just pitch in with a pre-existing build if they need some grunt work done until I get the feel for things. But yeah, I think that's probably a good place to stop this episode. I actually, as of this moment, I have not done the intro yet, and with my cold, I don't know what that intro's gonna be like. Cause I don't know how I sound to you guys, but I feel like I sound weird. Maybe, definitely not gonna be singing. Nope, none of that. But yeah, I guess I'll just call it here and figure out my intro in a little bit. So I hope you've enjoyed this kind of weird episode, and I hope you are as excited about being part of Vasten or Realm of Vasten as I am, and finishing off the Vasten Dimensions Nether project as well. That's still a thing. So I hope you keep coming back for more. But until next time, I hope you have a fantastic time, and I'll see you later. Bye!